When you're not too busy, trying to waste some time. Watch every show, don't know where to go, you wish time would go by. I mean, I have a suggestion, do whatever you want with it. It's not your first, but it's not your last. Your second favorite podcast. Your second favorite podcast, the show that is just for you. Your second favorite podcast, we're not doing it for the few. Your second favorite podcast, conversation all over the place. Just sit back and relax. Your second favorite podcast. Your second favorite podcast.
What's up, y'all? And welcome back to your second favorite podcast.
Yo.
It is the year 2024, but not for long.
No.
And I'm joined by my lovely co-host.
Oh, yeah, y'all. I'm his wife now. So it has been 2 years since our last podcast, and I was just his girlfriend, and we were just living together. So we have so much to catch y'all up on. So make sure you stay tuned to this two-parter of our first back together meaning like with you guys, back together, just, divulging into stuff with our podcast. So it's not like we're going to tell y'all all our business, but we're going to just talk about some cool things too along the way. Hence, just a quick side note. This was my idea. I was I was on Spotify looking for things to listen to on my way to work, and I could not, for the life of me, find anything that was interesting, thought-provoking, something that was going to get me through that 45-minute drive. And I was like, I can go back to our podcast and listen to me and Nicholas. And then I was like, yo, we need to go back to the podcast and record. And I was like, when's the best time? I couldn't decide. So I decided to do it. I got to turn the TV off because Nick ain't paying attention to me. I decided to do it. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I decided to do it on New Year's Eve. So now it is New Year's Eve, literally December 31st, 2024. Ooh, I accidentally just put my lipstick on the mic. December 31st, 2024, literally a few hours into about to be 2025, January 1st. Nicholas's birthday has passed, and my birthday is coming up. Tell everybody how old you are, Nicholas.
I am the big 3-0.
Yeah.
30 years young, is what they like to say. But yeah, like my lovely wife said.
Lovely wife, y'all heard that? I'm Mrs. Barry Wilson now. I'm no longer his girl. Go ahead. Girlfriend.
There you go. I was about to say, still my girl. But yeah, man, it's been a minute, and I tried my best not to. I'm going to try my best not to do the whole bit of like, it's been a long time, and da. So let my future self take the sake of it, and let's just. I don't know if you have anything specifically on your mind. The only thing I can think of is first just being 30.
Yeah.
I haven't. Well, I guess technically how birthdays work, your year is your birthday is the year of accomplishment. So I've accomplished 30 years. Because I was going to say I haven't experienced the 30 years, my 30s yet. Yeah. But technically that is true. So I started off my 30s with this little stupid, annoying, irritated nerve called sciatica.
Sciatic nerve.
So I apparently irritated that thing right like 2 days before my birthday. And that's what annoys me about it. Because there's always the joke of like, yeah, man, you're getting 30, man. Your body's going to start. Yeah. And I knew what people meant by it. I didn't take it as literal, nor I thought I was being ignorant about it. It's just funny by the time I literally turned 30 is when something stupid starts to happen to me.
Yeah.
And it's been kind of putting me out of commission. I'm not going to lie. It's weakened my muscles in a temporary sense. It's just I have to kind of work that back up.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to my 30s. I just want to document that. I'm looking forward to being 30. I've always been telling people mentally I've been 30. So I'm kind of in the age I'm finally probably acting like. Because I think a lot of times people, when they talk to me, they'll go, you, how old are you?
Yeah.
And they kind of surprised that I was like 22, 23.
But, oh, that's pretty good, man.
Yeah, it's like, oh, man.
Yeah.
So, but whatever. I don't really brag about it because it's not really a badge of honor thing. Because seeming like you're older than you are is not necessarily a great aspect to have. Because then sometimes you're a party pooper. But whatever. All in all, I'm looking forward to my 30s. And anybody who's going to be turning 30 or about to be 30, look forward to it. It's your prime. I think the misconception of your 20s, I probably said this on an episode of the podcast. I'm sure I have. I always preach the same crap. But the perception of what your 20s was supposed to be, I think that's what your 30s is. 20s is your actual adult teenage years.
I think we both agreed about that on the podcast. Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, so I truly believe that. And I think that you should allow yourself to keep growing and not get on yourself about not being where you want to be. But do make this an opportunity to start reaching for that goal and start making moves towards it. And don't be discouraged if you're 38 and you're still reaching for it, you know?
Yeah, and just in Nicholas's experience, you can, think about just because you have, I don't want to say just because you have health issues, but, health issues kind of mentally bring you down. And when you get older, you realize things aren't happening as fast. You're not healing as fast as you used to be when you were in your 20s, things like that. So it's like, let's be just proud that we're getting older. And that's what I feel like
that's
new
what
year.
Christmas is all about.
No. Christmas is something else. You said Christmas is like happiness and family and all that. And what we talked about in our last podcast episode was like, that's the true meaning of Christmas is sharing and loving and caring. But New Year is all about turning over a new leaf, growing and changing. So if y'all don't know, y'all know. If y'all don't know, now you know. New Year's is my favorite holiday. New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. It's just very demure. It's giving. But based upon what Nikki is talking about, I hate calling you Nick. I don't know what's happening. But based upon what Nikki is talking about, is that it's all about turning over a new leaf, sharing, giving, loving yourself, loving other people, and, turning, like, sheesh, we made it to 2025, y'all. We here.
Yeah.
And all hopes for the next year.
But I'm sure by the time y'all listening to this, we are in 2025.
We made it. Yeah, we made it.
So
but
that.
Also, y'all didn't know, it's two things I got to add to this conversation. One, this is our 2-year engagement anniversary, proposal anniversary.
2 years since
2 years since he proposed to me. So, it was in 2022 when I was proposed to on New Year's Eve, literally at 12 o'clock. Yeah. Once the ball dropped, Nicholas got on one knee and proposed. And it was so sweet. It was giving, that's who we are. I don't feel like I need to set the scene, but long story short, I was very surprised. I kept saying that, oh yeah, we're going to get married like in our relationship, but very surprised. Still very surprised. And we'll talk more about that. And so you're like, wonder, oh, wow, it's been 2 years and what happened in the last 2 years? Yeah, because the last time we made this podcast was November something of 2022, and that was when we was living together. So the proposal happened while we were still living together.
So you saying that our last episode before I proposed?
Yeah, it was before.
And then after that, we didn't say nothing about it? Even that one episode we did in our living room?
That was the last episode that we did in our living room.
And that was before?
Yeah, that was in November.
Crazy.
You proposed in December.
Okay, I get it now. It's just weird to just make that halt like that.
Yeah, so it was like a whole year. And we was talking about in that last podcast, if y'all heard it, like how we was going to stick to doing a podcast again and how we was going to commit to every Tuesday and things like that. It's just like stuff happened and I don't want to say it was in the back of our minds, but we just...
Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
No, go ahead. It's like,
I'm
what,
just gonna
what
go
was
on
it?
a whole ramble. It was just like
Things happened.
creating things
Yeah.
in general. But yes, a lot of life was in the way, and a lot of life is in the way. So it just makes it hard to do it. But I mean, granted, y'all listen. If y'all ever really listen to this episode, it's just me being critical of myself. I just think that if I ever do something, everybody's picking up a mic and recording themselves now.
True.
And I'm just like,
We were like ahead of the podcast wave when we started the podcast.
Yeah. And
like
I
when we
just-
first started that episode. But now it's just like everybody got one.
yeah, so I'm not as motivated to do it. I still like it.
Yeah.
And it gives me an opportunity to clear my mind, and it gives me an idea of, well, an opportunity to kind of just document my thinking. Granted, like we've been listening to, well, she's been listening to a couple of episodes before, but we listened to one recently on the way here. We're in Savannah, Georgia, by the way.
Oh yeah, that was the second thing I was gonna say is that where we are, because the scenery looks different.
Right.
We are in a lovely hotel room.
If you're watching the
in
video.
Savannah, yeah, if you're watching the video, but still
On
so the
JCMN
scenery-
Network,
yeah,
YouTube channel.
JCMN.
Your network, YouTube channel.
That's where the scenery is. We're in our hotel room, literally waiting for the fireworks to happen across the street.
Yeah, it's 7:44, so we got some hours to do this.
Yeah.
But we're just kind of sharing our thoughts for the end of 2024. That's probably what, I'm not sure what this episode's gonna be named.
23 and 24. That's why we got a two-parter.
Yeah.
So we got to talk about 23 and then 24.
So yeah, man, it's so I don't know. I really will be more motivated to do this if I was offering a unique experience, and I just don't feel like I'm there yet. So I feel like this is mostly for my personal needs, and if I have it,
It's literally, yeah, we're just
For our
putting it out
personal
there.
needs, yeah.
I want us to just do it.
yeah,
And I have no commitments and things like that.
yeah,
And just talk. And
That's
then
fine.
post it.
yeah. I'm at a point now. I'm just kind of like, I need to just do things and post it.
Yeah.
I still want to care about it. I still want to
True.
improve, but I have
got you.
to not allow that to stop me from ever just doing anything. 'cause
Right.
It will halt me from a lot of things if it's not up to par. But yeah. So all in all, you know, you may hear more episodes, you may not. But other than that, just stay tuned. And
You should, if I have anything to do with it.
Yes, I guarantee you that there will be something, because even if it's going to start just taking me to do an episode, it's like 30 minutes long or whatever, just about a topic or two or whatever. I'll do that if Jada's not in the mood, or if I'm not in the mood. I'm sure that she's more than willing to do something on her own if she wants to.
Yeah.
Jada rambles. But yeah. So yeah, man. Welcome to 2025. You know, you are great. You're going to do great things, and allow yourself to grow and fail. You know, failure is growth, as much as people may not necessarily advertise as such, but failure is growth. So we're going to grow. We're going to grow this year. And is it you wanted to talk about 2023?
You is kind.
I don't even
You
remember
is
what I was doing in
smart.
2023.
You is. I can walk you through it. I can walk you through it.
I know I started a new job in
Because it's
2022.
literally when I leave. When I leave is when our live starts. When our live starts in 2023.
You left towards the end of 2022, or you left at the end of 2023?
I left in May. So we got out of the apartment. I'm sorry, something in my eye.
It's okay. Take your time.
I don't get why it just happened now. We got out of the apartment. Dang, it's like it was all on my phone. I was just looking it up, and now I'm forgetting.
You want to take your time to go find it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Let me
So
get
while she goes to find this information, I guess just want to do a little shout out. Subscribe to the JCMN Network YouTube channel. That'd be great for you to do. Watching this video right now, hit that subscribe button. Good on you. If you like video games or things like that, go to JCMN Arcade. JCMN Arcade. Go there and subscribe to that YouTube channel. Also, go to any of your streaming services. And if you're listening to this audio, obviously you're on something. But we all own all these streaming services. So yeah, we are there. We are there. I am there. And to each their own. and a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So yeah, all in all though, y'all, trying to stall as much as I can. My brain is not moving fast enough, and now she's back.
Okay, sorry. That says May 3rd, 2023. So yeah, February 28th was when I sent out the notice. So we left April 28th. Lease states that I do like leasing agreements that I'm leaving. Should I turn off the bathroom light? Can you see it in the camera?
Oh, okay. Oh, it's fine.
Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to get a timeline together, and I had to put eye drops on my eye because something was in my eye. And all right, back to it. All right, so April 28th. April 28th was when we left our apartment, and I left to go to Philadelphia. May 3rd, and this is all while we were engaged. I wanted to leave, so I graduated college. Y'all know I was talking about for years. I was in school. Even our last episode, I was still in my master's program, but now I am officially a master in social work. Shout out to Georgia State. Love you so much. And so I basically just wanted to move back home, and the goal was for us to, save money, not pay for an apartment, stay with our family, and I kind of get to live the Philly life because I wasn't, during the pandemic, I wasn't around my family a lot. So it was just a good decision to make. And then I got engaged. So I was just like, I'm still going to go. We're just going to do it for a year, save up a good 10 grand. And then we was like, all right, cool. We're going to get a house when I get back. And that was basically the plan. So I guess we can start by talking about when I left. How'd you feel? Was your heart broke? Did you die inside a little bit?
I guess I'll take that opportunity to kind of hit on what people asking me, knowing that you were leaving, was about long distance relationships.
Oh yes, long distance relationship. Let's talk about it.
And I would say that one of the biggest things that I think are still reign true is your long distance relationship could work.
Yeah.
As long as you have worked out any other issues. Like if y'all are still lingering on issues, they still come up. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times that makes the long distance feel like it's worse or feels like it's not working.
Yeah.
Obviously you kind of have to have a connection already or a sense of like understanding of the situation.
Right.
That's kind of already need to be known. But other than that, like, I just think that if there's a underlining issue that y'all have between one another, if it goes on to just how you talk to each other or somebody checking in or just things like that, where you already have this annoyance or something, just something that's a problem. Right. If it's not amended, if it's not an issue, or if it's still an issue or whatever, you're still not working, you haven't worked on it yet, that long distance is going to be hard. It's going to be troublesome.
That's very true. And in my experience, with what people were telling me, it was mainly just like the whole trust thing. Mm-hmm. It's just like apparently men just can't be trusted in general. So people were just like, oh, I'm glad you can trust him and all this other stuff. It was all mainly about hoping that we'd make it so like either of us didn't cheat on each other. Like that's what mainly the focus was. It wasn't even about like if we could handle it. I don't want to say relationship wise, but like, yeah, I guess relationship wise. With like romance and chemistry and also making sure we're on the same par. It was none of that. It was more just like, hope you don't cheat on you. Mm. And I'm just like, oh, okay. We trust each other. So it's like when you're talking about that one thing, or if y'all have things that y'all haven't worked out, it's not about even not trusting each other. It's just about things are difficult to talk about when there's a break in communication, when y'all been away from each other for so long. And I'm a very moody girl, so I kind of just gotta own up to that. I'm just very moody, so things just like pop off. So if you're moody and you can't handle when things go in disarray, because things, they say a lot can happen in a year. It sure can. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, and everything is a test for like just, I don't know. Doubt is easy. Doubt is a parasite when it comes to those kind of situations.
Yeah.
And it'll take over the narrative or take over any like heartfelt feelings.
Yeah.
And I just think that as long as you can navigate through that and y'all can talk. I'm a big component of communicating. Even though if like I don't communicate well, I just rather talk about it. I rather not act like it doesn't exist.
Oh yeah, no.
So if I have an issue, I've realized that, and if you experience that, when I hold it in, it just gets worse.
Yeah.
Because the doubt, the fear, being, I guess, unfaithful in the sense of like not just having faith in, like it could work out.
Right.
When that starts seeping in, it's kind of hard to talk around it because you're constantly thinking that way.
Right.
So I realized I really have to allow myself to express that, even when I don't feel like it's not, I guess, one, justified, one, not clear. Because if you know, if I don't have the words, I kind of still need to say it and allow it to be the wrong words, or allow myself to correct myself, or to be open to correction in that sense.
Yeah.
Instead of just feeling like the words that I'm saying should be interpreted or understood.
Yeah.
But I every time I try to filter myself before even speaking, I either get to a point where I'm just like, never mind. And then I, push to the side, and then it comes back again. It's just not healthy for me.
Yeah, and I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but I would just say the one thing about being newly married or just married in general, well, I would say newly married, is that, and it's something you talk about often, is that we just need to give each other grace often and easily. Like, if I was a normal person that just gave people grace unintentionally, you got to give your partner like extra grace. And just know that they're not the villain, or they're the one that's trying to put you down. I mean, unless you just married those narcissistic people, then that's a different story. But like, if you truly marry that person for who they are, you gotta just like calm down. Just,
I think, and especially remember that, like, not even remember, just, I guess the subject I'm trying to hit on is just like what you said, but it's that situation of like, if you say something that, if you tell a friend of yours something that I'm doing, and like inherently probably not perceived as something that they would accept.
yeah.
This what they say, love is such a like such a heavy thing, such a heavy feeling.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when you're not attached to someone, and there is something like that they do, or something that they say,
Yeah.
you'd be like, I wouldn't deal with that. I wouldn't say that, or I wouldn't want to deal with something like that. But when you love someone, you tend to want to have that kind of grace with them, because if you constantly feel that way, there's a point where you're not even allowing yourself to love them, or to, like, I guess, love them unconditionally.
That's
or,
I was like, that's literally what it is, because you learn to love people either like based upon conditions, or based upon your standards, or just very, like, I feel like in the early stages, people are just figuring out what love is and what it means to each other. So a lot of times it came off like, I still do love you, but I need this, or I still know I love you, but I'm trying to figure out if this is normal, the things you do. Like, and that's the one thing I kept thinking about, was like, I used to tell people, like, we are literally two different cultures coming together. And then people would say, what, y'all are a different race? And I was like, or like, they would say what ethnicity you are, or something like that. I'm like, we could still be the same. Two people's households are different cultures, people. Literally, what goes on in my house could have gone over differently in his house, and that's literally merging together. Like, when people talk about how their partner will, I guess, put their dirty clothes somewhere, I don't know, something simple like, oh, we were raised in my house to put the dirty clothes in the laundry room when other people are like, let's put it in the bedroom, stuff like that. Like that's a culture. That's literally something learned, a learned behavior. And little things like that is literally what separates people, tears people apart, whatever. But yeah,
all that. And you just have to allow yourself to know that and be okay with that. I just say one of my...
It's hard. It's hard to do that. But yes.
When I say one of my components, or one of the things I enjoy in life, is experiencing other people's journeys, or experiencing people's perceptions or perspectives. So I'm more accepting or acceptable. No, I'm more receptive. Whatever. I'm more something towards people with differences in me.
Yeah.
Just because that makes more sense to me. A lot of times I'm more surprised if someone shares the same sentiment as me. But I like you. I like to experience your differences. I like to see what you're different than, or, what things you could adapt. Because sometimes you do things that I don't understand inherently, but, once
you talking about me? You said me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, okay.
If you may do something that I don't inherently understand or have ever done, and then you do it, and it's like, oh, okay, that's actually not too bad,
Yeah.
And it just, it just makes the world feel bigger, If you came to this relationship with like a 1-to-1 to me, it would have been like, okay, well, what else? I mean, granted, I probably would have found something different. Like, you can't be as 1-to-1 to me, but whatever. My point is, I love the differences, so I embrace it. My issue was always just trying to stay true to myself.
Yeah.
And without coming off as stubborn. And that was something I always felt like I was going to be a problem when I was younger. Because at some point I had to be like, oh, well, this is me, though. This is what I like. This is my boundary. This is my tolerance. But I didn't establish that too often.
This is real. This is me. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be now. Gonna let the light shine on me. I don't know the rest. That's it. And then I keep mixing it up with, if it lighten up a little bit, then I will be over it. That's how you mix up songs.
Gotcha. So all in all, to bring that around, 2023 was a lot of
that
self-evaluation.
Yeah. Arguments.
Yeah, which is, it's healthy to have.
Yeah.
And it never was too bad or detrimental. It's just they were a thing. So not to act like they just wasn't going to happen. I even told people that I'm sure we're going to have some problems. I just don't think there's going to be any problems where I felt like, I didn't want you or...
Really? I'm glad you said that, because I felt like some of them were so bad.
Yeah. I think in hindsight, no.
Oh, okay.
But at the time, obviously, it probably felt such because it was so different. It was so hard to understand, hard to communicate.
Yeah. Okay.
With time and looking back, I understood what was happening. Mm-hmm. So I'm not as confused or,
Yeah.
It got diluted over time.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, 2023 was all that. And then, do you have anything else about that?
Wow, what you about to do?
I was going to just transfer it to 2024.
No.
Okay.
We still got to finish 23.
Okay.
So, in every episode, we usually talk about... So, basically, we talked about our move. We talked about our relationship. And then we usually talk about work. And then I was going to probably end with 2023 with... It wasn't life. It was something else. I guess I don't know. Maybe family. Probably not. Yeah, something like that. Well, I guess we'll start with work. So in 2023, when I got to Philadelphia, I was chilling. It was sometimes annoying, sometimes not, but I was I would say I went to New York 4 times, but I went to New York 4 times. It was cool. And I would take the bus or take the train, stuff like that. It was fun. Go to New York if you don't get a chance. Just go over there. Don't spend an arm and a leg and go do the tourist thing. Literally just get a hotel somewhere right around Manhattan. Go to Harlem, go to Brooklyn, go to Queens. Just walk around. Literally just... Metro is very cheap. But if you're scary, don't go. You gotta been somewhere before. Oh, they out here screaming already. But yeah, so I was working at a school district right after college. I was so happy that I got hired right after college. You know, people talk about right after college you don't get hired and it's hard to find a job. And I was like, well, I went to the school district of Philadelphia, which is like one of the worst districts in the state. Probably in the country. I don't know. I feel like Kentucky, Louisiana, and Tennessee are really bad. But, you know, Wisconsin and Mississippi, all of those are really bad too. But, so they were desperate. So, like, think of any inner city school district. They need people all the time, every time. But I had a good school. Like, it wasn't them crazy schools where the kids are killing each other and fighting every other day. It was pretty cool. I did not like it. Did not like the staff. But it was a great experience. I learned what I liked, learned what I didn't like. And if you've been to the podcast before, I used to be switching jobs like nobody's business. And then we used to talk about my experiences with people and all that good stuff. But in 2023, Nicholas, how was work going for you?
I was a year of full-time. I got a full-time job in 2022. I was a year in that, and I kind of enjoyed it. I still do. I still enjoy my job. I enjoy it.
He got his own office.
Yeah, I enjoy it to the point that I'm like, I can see why I would want to retire here.
Yeah.
But I don't allow myself to want to do that because I know there's more things I want to do in life, and that's not the end, or something I want to keep doing for the next 20 years or whatever.
Right.
But yeah, no. So 2023 was, I was learning new things, trying new things, working on different kind of programming. I kind of I test myself a lot in 2023. I don't know. I kind of just tried things. I tried to change like my habits of work.
You were on that carnivore diet as well.
Was I in 2023?
Yeah. I remember we would talk on the phone talking about how you change your diet and
I feel like that was
you
like
felt thinner. No.
Really? Okay. Well.
And then I'm going to talk about wedding planning. That was the last thing. So I said jobs, and it was one last thing, wedding planning. I'm going to talk about that.
Okay. No, I mean, I guess so. But yeah, I was doing different things health-wise. I definitely need to get back on that. So there's that. So y'all see the progress. I mean, even then, like freaking early episodes, watching me, and we clicked a couple of videos. I'm like, hey, I was skinny. And I just don't see myself as such.
We clicked video. Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like those were 2020, but okay.
Even then. I guess I'm saying, like, even then, well, obviously we didn't do 2022 to 2024. But I'm saying, like, any previous times where I thought I was big already.
Yeah.
But
and you
I
were thin looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just didn't notice. I mean, there was one picture that we had in, like, 2019. And I'm sitting here like, I was looking scary skinny. But... yeah, so we'll see the progress. Grow. But 2023 was was a year I was trying to be more out, in a sense of like putting myself out there, getting in front of people, or just, I ain't gonna say being vulnerable because that's not even the issue. I mean, not the issue.
I would say being more sociable in general at work.
Yeah, I was going out more. I was going out with friends. I was kind of trying to be like, I'm not restricted to the time of work. And like, when I was invited out, I went, yeah, let's do this. Let's do it. Let's not be like, oh, I'm tired. I don't want to.
Yeah.
But granted, my work, I keep saying my work friends, but they're actually my friends. They
newly friends from work.
Yes. And we kind of catered to the time, knowing that with like work, like if we went to do something on a Wednesday, like we'll do it on a Friday or something. Like we knew that we ended us the next day, or working in late. We worked around that time, but I'm trying not to say like I was doing too much, whatever, because 2023 really led up to more what I did in 2024. Yeah, like it was a lot of prep and a lot of like. Because I got into a lot more things this year than I did last year. But the mindset did change because I wanted to show that I can lead, show that I can do more than just work hard, I guess.
Yeah.
That's funny because it was kind of around that time, which might have been 2022, but kind of around that time where I was talking about quiet quitting, and I'm just like, I'm trying to show that I can do some more things.
I silent quit every chance I get.
But I tend to look at work, and I don't know if this is really off topic, but I try to look at work as an experience and use it as a tool or use it as a learning experience for the future.
Yeah.
And not be like this, whatever I'm putting in now is something that is going to be an image of me later, or I don't know. Some people put a little too much thought and too much about work, and I'm like, I've done that, and I thought that's what I needed to do, but literally me working at a waste industry or me working at a tech company or working at a fabric store, there's something I can learn in those places that makes the job just kind of more interesting and more of a learning experience than it is to be an image of my career or an image of who I am. Because I kind of thought that way of well, if I'm doing this, what does that even mean? Who is going to da-da-da? I'm like, there's avenues that you can get into and grow from there, and then just become more. You just have more tools. You just kind of have more of a Swiss Army knife situation.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's my little take on just.
Some people will say being more diverse in work makes them pay you more. I mean, makes them pay you the same, but also expand you like a rubber band.
Right. So definitely want to make that clear. Just because I'm trying to do more or show more or whatever, I'm very aware of still what my job title is.
Stretching you thin. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. I'm still aware of my job title. I'm still aware of how much I'm getting paid. I'm not going that above and beyond. I'm just kind of going above for myself and my sake.
Yeah. Some people just like to know all the inner workings of their job and the nooks and crannies and be fine with what they're paid with and be able to set boundaries so that they don't get taken advantage of. That happens.
Yeah. And it's once again, especially this year, not to jump too far ahead, but when I was doing a couple tours with people, showing our building and showing the history, or not even the history, but we talked about things that they worked on, yada, yada, yada. I'm just aware of that. Yeah. And that's just because I was just going to these things, listening to these people talking to da-da-da. And I'm like, I don't know why I know all this. I wasn't trying to learn all this, but I do like to learn more things in all these other avenues, or, what do corporate think? What does your finance department think? What does, all those aspects think? Because it helps me understand how to operate better and understand to kind of implement things locally for the bigger picture. Yeah. But whatever. I'm sorry not to ramble around that. I'm sorry, future Nick. I know you're like, oh my gosh. So there's that. What was you saying the next thing was in your 2023 venture?
Well, I wanted to finish my other thoughts.
Go ahead, Shorty.
I was trying to think, what did I do last year for my birthday? I don't remember.
Last year? You got to remember the beginning of this year. That's why.
Huh?
You mean 2023?
When I was in Philly for my birthday. So, yeah, 23. No.
You was in Philly 2024.
24 of January.
So, this year.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess this year.
Yeah.
In January. Well, I don't know what I was doing.
You said that you were planning on going on a trip, but then I think you changed that.
Oh yeah, I was going to this cabin out in somewhere in the
oh, you came
not
here.
The ruins of New York. I was here.
Yeah, we went to a hotel in here.
Oh yeah. Okay. So let's talk about that. So my sister had a baby, and her baby shower. That wasn't around my birthday. That was our engagement photos. Oh no, that was my birthday when we stayed at the hotel. Okay. All right. So I guess let me talk about. That will go into the whole wedding planning. So I'll tell that story in a minute. Sorry, y'all.
I'm starting to get confused.
Yeah.
Well, because when you came down in
to
April,
visit,
we didn't do anything extra and then left.
What you talking about?
Okay, so it was your birthday when you came down and we went into the world of Coke.
Yeah,
that was your birthday.
It was okay.
It had to be your birthday because you wasn't here for too long.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I didn't remember being here though.
Yeah.
Because I know what you're talking about with the trip. I was like trying to do a premarital trip so I can get my mind together. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I was thinking of last year for New Year's. What I was doing, I was chilling at my childhood old home because it was sold, and I basically did like a whole Sankofa vibe, was like returning back to what you know so that you can learn new things for the future. So that was literally like my New Year's resolution, and my New Year's like intention. That for this year was like looking back at life, reflecting on the things I've done, and realizing that I'm better for the future so that I can do better, all the time. And it's funny because every New Year, like I said, New Year's my favorite holiday. So every New Year, I like us to do like a capsule situation. So when we got engaged, when he proposed, I was planning on doing like what I was getting ready for, because I thought we was gonna be sitting in the house chilling, watching TV and watching the ball drop. We were writing out things, kind of like a time capsule, literally in a jar. Because like the year before that, we broke a glass. Like we wrote on the glass things that were related to time, like running out of time, not having enough time, and thinking time is moving too fast, and just breaking all those stereotypes about time. And so that year we got engaged of 2022, or that time he proposed to me in 2022.
The year of our Lord and Savior.
Yeah, of course, the year of our God. I basically was like, oh, let's get some notes and write them in there and write how we feel. And then we'll open it up in like the next 10 years and read them. And that's so I got like a cute little jar from the dollar store. And that was the whole plan for the new year. So that was what I did. That was what we did 2022.
Right.
2023, I went to my childhood home and I was chilling. So.
You didn't break glass in 2022.
No, it was before that.
Okay.
That was the year before.
I was making sure. Because I remember that's what ruined my surprise for you. Because you didn't do none of the things you were supposed to do.
I was like, nope, let's just do the time capsule in a jar.
Gotcha.
So this is basically our New Year's of doing something in a time capsule. I was like, this is the best idea. Like reflecting on the past 2 years, putting it in a video format, and we can always reflect on it. Video / audio format. And we can reflect on it.
Yeah.
How come when I talk, you don't have nothing to say?
I'm sorry. I'm in listening mode.
Okay. That's fine. I'm asking.
I shouldn't be in a mode of like trying to listen and like listen to say something.
Well, no, not listen to say something, but
I know what you mean.
Yes. Okay.
I'm just trying to make that clear. I do know what you mean. I'm just saying like I'm trying to just listen to you and not wait to say something. Because once I do that, then I'm not really hearing you anymore. I wait for you to stop talking.
Okay.
I'm just
gotcha. So I guess you
done talking. That's what's crazy.
Huh?
You're not even done talking.
I was done, but I didn't want this space. So I guess you can talk about what it was like to propose.
You want me to go back?
Way back. What you mean go back?
Because we was supposed to be going forward. 2023.
We're still wrapping up 2023.
We're wrapping up 2022 now. I proposed 2022.
You been what?
I proposed 2022.
Oh, I guess so then. Okay. We'll wrap up. We'll talk about that.
What?
You proposed in December of 2022. Yes, you're right.
Okay. Wait.
But it was the new year, so technically it was 2023.
That still doesn't make sense.
How?
Because you were gone last year and we hit a year engagement.
Yeah, in January. So that's 2 Januaries.
That was 23.
No.
Because I proposed 23. You left later that year. You came back this year. And that math doesn't math.
I came back of January 24. Yeah. No, I mean January of 20. So turning into 2024, from 23 to 24, I was still in Philly. I didn't come here until May of 24.
You telling me you spent 2 New Years in
No,
Philly?
I spent 1 year in Philly.
When? When did you leave to Philly?
When I left to Philly was in June of 2023.
So I proposed January
Of 2023, yes. But it was still December 31st of 2022.
I guess so.
Yes.
That's so weird. I got confused. I thought we were.
So yes, your proposal was technically, like you said, we're going back. Was technically the planning period of whenever you wanted to propose.
2025 would be 2 years.
Yes.
And that's what's confusing me. Sorry. There you go, Nico, for the future. Talking to myself because I know I'm always sitting there like, I know you. Correct him. I swear, I would be my most annoying friend.
Excuse me, I just burped in the mic.
You sure did. Don't do that again.
I'm sorry.
Just fine.
I couldn't hold it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. But yeah. What did you ask me?
I guess you can talk about proposing and what that's like for a man, because I was just surprised.
Okay, so yeah, let me give you a little aside, right? Guys, and I literally just had a conversation about this to a coworker of mine. There's always men always talk about the feeling of proposing. Even to this day, knowing what I know, knowing how I felt, there was still this mind-numbing feeling of like, what are you doing? Why are you doing it?
I feel like that's just your nature, though, because you're like that with any big decision.
Yes, true, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's easy to dismiss with knowing that.
Yeah.
And I would say, yeah, that's not crazy to think of.
Okay.
But
yeah,
even
continue.
guys still, when they come to me now I become the proposal guy.
The pillar of proposals.
And just asking me how do I feel, and I tell them the same thing of like I didn't really still know, like I still kind of felt like it was in the air, like I knew what I wanted, and I was really stuck on like how to do it, but it wasn't like, if you ever had like a good gift idea, and you know how to get it done, you're like, I'm gonna get this, and I'm gonna set it up to make it look like this, and it's gonna be da da da. You're sure. There's a surety with that feeling. There's no like, yeah, there might be a little doubt too. Maybe it might be. I'm not saying it won't be. There's a surety though there. There just wasn't a huge surety on me, except that I knew I wanted to propose, but there was still this weird numbing feeling of the feeling.
Yeah.
So it's almost like I couldn't just be like, I know I want to get married to her. It was like, I know I want to get married to her. Oh.
Yeah, because I had that feeling literally leading up to the wedding.
Yeah.
So like, I don't want to say months before, but it was just like, yeah, because our wedding date was April 24th of 2024. And we got engaged January 1st of 2020, or January 31st, whatever. January 1st of 2024. So like, I would say January, February. Oh my God, it was January, February, March, April. It was like 4 months of wedding planning. No wonder it went like that.
Oh yeah.
I planned a wedding in 4 months.
Yeah,
shout out to me. Yo, I'm way too hard on myself. I was like, yo.
I'm so glad you said it on here.
Yes. Okay, I'm talking about this specific
don't
situation, but whatever.
I
planned a wedding in 4 months. Now, I'll explain to y'all all of that in a minute. But, yeah, I understand. Because, wow, so I would say after January, more like February, March was when I started to get all like,
Mm-hmm.
I was talking all this mess about getting married, and now I'm scared half to death. I'm scared. Everybody kept asking me how you feel. I'm scared.
Yeah. So my main point,
yeah, go ahead.
My point is it's normal. I would say though, even though I'm still describing like it's kind of a numbing feeling, at the end of it, I did know. I knew. So there's that. So guys, if you need any surety or any like whatever, don't overthink it. Do it. for the past people's situations, they've all had an idea of what they wanted to do, but the one that they did was not the one that they had an idea of. And honestly, it's probably the best one, the best action to do when it comes to proposing.
Everybody likes low key proposals, but then everybody likes high key proposals. So it all depends on who you dealing with.
I wanted to do it New Year's, no matter what.
That was the highlight at this point.
I wanted to do New
whatever.
Year's, but I think the way I wanted to do it was like Shu likes to go to Little Five Point in Atlanta. It's by Ponce City Market. She likes that place, and I was trying to get her out there, but the most natural way of just being like, hey, it's New Year's, let's just go down to Atlanta, but it's really hard to.
When it made no sense to me.
It really is hard to try to do something on at New Year's, not like we're just going down there at 6 or 7 o'clock.
Yeah,
like we're trying to stay there till midnight.
Yes, in Atlanta at 11:50.
Yeah, and expect it to be smooth. I think I probably overestimated that part, but she literally changed so much. I guess
within like 12 hours of that day, I was switching up stuff.
Let me just make it quick, but also just kind of give you a little thing of setting up. The month is October, and the month is August. I make the decision that I want to propose in New Year's. I wanted to get her ring done, wrapped in a crystal. So that was kind of the only thing that I was still trying to figure out. Went to a local gym show, got there, got it tricked up or whatever. The original crystal that I wanted.
You got it custom made.
Got them custom made. The original crystal that I wanted, they didn't make it small enough.
It's a huge ass ring.
Yeah, they didn't make it small enough, and that's what makes it funny too, because that one's still big. But the one I wanted just wasn't big, and just was way too big. I think I told you was that torque.
Yeah.
To the look clear rainbow looking one.
Yeah, it's opal looking, but it's called something else.
Love that. I still love that crystal. But I wanted to get that one small, but they just didn't do it, or it wasn't going to come in time. I needed that ring before. So I get it custom made. They said that they can deliver it. They end up doing that. So it comes in the freaking mail, and Jaeda loves to be nosy. So as soon as we get into my parents' house, as soon as we're at the apartment, and my stuff still gets delivered there, we go to my parents' house. She immediately walks into the house, sees that a package has my name on it, and almost starts opening it up. And I had to make a freaking lie and go, "Oh, that's my mom's present. Don't open that."
And I believed him.
Yeah, I was like, "Don't do that. Come on."
I was this close to getting it open, like literally pulling the other part out. And he snatched it so fast. I was like, "Oh."
Right, because it was just in a baggie at this point. I had to get the ring holder that it originally came in.
Yeah,
I had to get my mom to order it because I was thinking she's going to see my Amazon order, so I can't see that.
And it was a cute heart-shaped one with a light.
Yeah, and I specifically wanted that. So there's that dilemma. Then I was like, okay, the Atlanta thing seemed to be a little too far-fetched. I was trying to, once again, naturally get her to get her nails done and get herself prepped up. And she was running into, like, I'm telling y'all that she perfectly was trying to do these things around this time. And then I was encouraged. I was like, yeah, go get your nails done. Yeah, that'd be nice. Without trying to make it obvious. And somehow she just went, da-da-da. I think a week or two before I proposed, you hurt yourself. So that's why you're wearing a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
And so there was that dilemma too. I was like, oh no, she's not going to like the fact that she's wearing, she has a cut on her finger, or a ring finger at that.
Yeah, it was.
And then wanted to take pictures of it. So we're sitting at the apartment. It's New Year's Eve. Well, she's coming home from work.
So what happened was...
not her taking over.
Because, talk about the nails in my hair, I was like, gonna get my nails done. I don't don't want to say I didn't have the money. I think it was the time frame because I was in school and I was working a part-time job. I didn't have time for real. I was like, I wanted to do it, but I couldn't find the time to just go get my nails done. And every time I get my nails done, it's such a disappointment. So I was like, it's just a waste of money. That's what it was. I feel like it was a waste of money. So I was like, I'm going to be in the house anyway, so I'm not going to do it. I literally washed my hair, never blow dried it or nothing. So literally my hair was just like in a curly, short fro because I got shrinkage like nobody's business. So that's literally what I looked like on New Year's. No nails done, no hair done. I just started getting into makeup at the wedding because I was trying to do my own makeup for the wedding. And so I learned how to do makeup literally at this point. So I'm just looking like barefaced, pajamas. We cooked that day. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you talk about that day. But that's how I looked.
Yeah. She getting off work. And I was going to try to set up the scene, but the issue with trying to propose New Year's, like literally when it hits 12, you can't set up the place without being obvious before the time. So I was like, that's a dilemma. But we were just sitting around watching TV, playing games, and I was recording a little bit, trying to capture the moment.
Yeah.
But once again, use the context of, it's just, it's New Year's or whatever. And I don't know, I'm a video guy. I'll do stuff with videos later. It's possible. It makes sense for me to just be recording things.
Yeah.
And then one of the things she was supposed to do is what she did, like she said in 2021, she was supposed to like break a clock or something. And I was going to take that opportunity. So when she's in there breaking it and she turns around, I'm there. Go ahead.
I was about to talk about the sparklers. But the funny part is, I had sparklers in my car. Mm-hmm. I think it was either last New Year's or I ain't had nothing for July 4th.
I think it was just earlier.
I had it. Because during July 4th, sparklers, I just liked them. So I just kept them. And so I had sparklers sitting in my car for literally the whole rest of, until that January.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said, go ahead.
Yeah, so we get onto the porch because we hearing fireworks. But
he told me to bring the sparklers. That was what I was trying to say.
There you go.
He told me to bring the sparklers that I had sitting in my car, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I could just do them on the balcony." So that's how he ended up getting me on the balcony.
Yeah, get on the balcony so we could play with the sparklers. Once again, a distraction. I had to take the little ring case, tape it under a table.
We had an outside table on the balcony.
Yeah, so I taped that thing up around like 6 or 7, just hoping it wouldn't fall. Before
did pretty good. You snatched it like nobody's business.
Gaffer's tape. Shout out to Gaffer. That thing works on everything. So
it's so funny because when he got on one knee, I was like, "Your knee hurting? What's wrong?" I thought his knee gave out or something.
Yeah, so we light up the sparklers and I set up the camera, and then she's like, "Yeah, we got it, da-da-da." And I was just like, all right, because I kind of wanted you to hold that one.
Yeah.
I was using so you can play with it a little bit. And then I was like, okay, hopefully me grabbing this thing doesn't look already suspicious. I kind of wanted to hit the moment.
Don't be suspicious.
You sitting there, but literally you kind of got me right when I was going down.
Yeah.
And then, yeah. And honestly, though, I thought my legs would hurt a lot more.
Yeah, I have you. I used to hate when the girls in the photos would just have them sitting there and not giving them an answer.
Yeah.
I ended up being one of those girls.
And
he was sitting there for a minute.
I legitimately was trying to figure out a speech to have. I was trying to think of like, what I would say, how I would prep it. And I was kind of ready to say something that was on my mind,
The nerves.
Yeah.
The nerves kicking.
But this girl was, what? What's going on? Oh my gosh, hold on. What?
I said,
hold on. And just kept going. So at this point, I was like, let me not interrupt this moment and try to make a whole speech. I'm just like, let me just ask, would you marry me? Because you didn't even, I had to wait for you to give me that opportunity to say that.
And I took the ring from you and I had to give it back.
Yeah, she was like, hold on. Okay, go.
I said, what?
Yeah. So, and then I just asked her to marry me.
I'm the
she said
chosen
yes. One. And then luckily we had some of our neighbors on the porch as well.
Yes, shout out to the girls. All you girls that are girls, y'all really make. And it was nice because our apartment balcony was like pointed towards, it wasn't pointed towards the water, was it?
Technically,
somewhat,
yes.
yeah. It was pointed towards the water, so it was a nice scenery, and we could kind of see the fireworks happening. So it was like it was a great scene.
Yeah, it was nice. But yeah, I'm glad that I did it that way. It feels more memorable.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, in most cases, when I ain't gonna say bad things happen, when hiccups or
Yeah.
things don't go as perfectly, it's more memorable.
Yeah.
If you had a vacation that just was perfect, you have a hard time remembering certain things.
That's what people say about life.
Yeah.
If life was so perfect, you'd be bored.
Yeah. So I enjoyed the way it went down.
I guess that's why famous people get into so much mess.
And I know I just made a crazy look. But,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it. All in all, it was a fun time. I'm glad that I did it the way I did it, and
Yeah.
it's been great ever since.
Oh, so sweet. So let me tell y'all about a dream. Like, girls have their dream proposal, what they would want, what they would like, and then also have a dream wedding. So I'll talk about the wedding planning, and then we can conclude because we're at an hour. And I just wanted to get to I thought we was gonna get to 59, but we can get to an hour and 30 minutes. Y'all be all right. It's New Year's. It's New Year's, or it's a New Year's vibe. You're probably listening to this way later. You straight? You hear something?
No, I was looked up and I was like, "What is that panel?"
This is a really nice hotel that we're in.
Yeah, it's pretty
I
nice.
spent a good bit of money to be here just for less than 24 hours,
There
but
you go.
I'm very happy.
24
They say money
hours.
doesn't make you happy, but it sure helps you de-stress.
There we go.
Because I'd be stressed.
This episode is
And
brought
that's
to you
why
by
I need
money.
to leave. Yes, that's why I be needing to leave. Like, sometimes y'all need to take a break from life and just go in a camp. Like, me and Nikki are great buddies to just hang out and go to like a little cabin and just chill for a couple days. Give us a good TV and a good book.
Yeah.
We straight.
All right, baby. Go back.
Souvenir shopping.
Get
All
back
right,
on
yeah.
with y'all.
All right. I was going to.
I
I'm gonna
appreciate
finish.
you. I appreciate you, but let's get back.
You get sleepy?
No, I know you're gonna forget.
I don't know. I got it
still
all
got it?
prepared.
Okay.
So yes, a dream proposal. I would say when I was younger, first of all, I was very naive. That's so Raven raised me. J-Lo raised me. All those romance, not even 90s, but early 2000s movies that are all about like, girl is struggling, girl finds guy randomly, guy loves her, guy has this undying love for her, but there's this one little lie and they break up, or they have this heartfelt downfall, and then he wins her back, and then he wins her back with a grand proposal. Like, that's literally the life I was given, okay? And that's what I expected, but also it wasn't like I knew what my reality of my situation was, so I wasn't like too hell-bent on the situation. So I would say that my dream proposal was just something that was grand in a way. Like, I know when I went to prom, a guy he proposed to his girlfriend on the Ferris wheel in Atlanta, and it was literally like he had people who had signs that said, "Will you marry me?" and it was on the top of the Ferris wheel. That was so cute. That was what I would say is kind of, it's not grand, but it was well thought out, because anything could have went wrong. And like things like that, like when people do it at the aquarium and they got the sea divers doing like, "Will you marry me?" and they do this cute photo op, or taking you to the beach and doing it like that. Like, that was my whole like, oh, those are great proposals. And I was like, that's what I want. Not realizing who I'm, not saying like what matters, but eventually I kind of didn't, I don't want to say I didn't care. I didn't have a huge expectation for the grandiosity of it. I was more just like, I want something. I want something thought out, heartfelt, like something that made sense, especially with what I was dealing with. So it's not like I like richy things. It's just like, I don't know, I want something down to earth. Like, because I think I actually one time I was like, do you think I would rather want to be proposed to in front of my family or in an intimate space with just me and you? And you answered just me and you, and I was like, yes, I just wanted to be intimate. That's all I care about. It's like what age you no longer want too many things, but that just could just be, me.
Gotcha.
I would say I'm down to earth in some ways. You got it?
Yeah.
So I would say that's the dream proposal. Now, the dream wedding, I was still raised upon like the movies. Big wedding, have all your family there. Everybody stays in a hotel, located, travel. At first I wanted to do a destination wedding, but then I was like, that's going to take too long. We in the middle, literally in the dead set of inflation. And what's funny? Like when you get engaged, everybody's like, when's the wedding? I already had the wedding planned out in my head 3 days after we got engaged. We was talking about, we want to do a cruise, or we want to do a destination. Like I kept saying that, but I knew what I wanted to do, in a like retrospect. I knew a lot of things already. I was always just like interested in what my life or how my wedding would go. So I already knew like small things, like what our theme would be. I never, like, the date was still iffy, because I think we didn't figure that out until like before I left to Philadelphia. That wasn't solid until then, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, so like when me and Nikki was together, wedding planning wasn't fun. It was just new. It was just like, this idea, that idea. I was just putting stuff together, buying little cute like bride-to-be things like that. So it's like when you're planning a wedding, you think everybody's going to surround you with their experience and ask you how you doing, if you need help. People are going to be excited for you. Like, I've seen that is the expectation that a lot of brides have, and then they get so disappointed. Like, social media has been my friend during that whole wedding process, because there would be brides that would be like, when you sit in here crying, planning your wedding all by yourself. And I was like, that's literal facts. I was crying almost every other day trying to plan this wedding. And I would only hear what people didn't want. So I would say, like, I'm going on a cruise. They would say, I can't do that. I don't want to do that. You sure you want to do that? Maybe you should do this. Maybe, like, it's sending me other destinations. Like, I'm sorry. Is this your wedding? And that's like literally what I would say all the time. I would tell people my ideas. They would tell me what they think instead, or what I couldn't do. And I'd be like, is this your wedding or mine? And sometimes I would just shrug it off and not care. But then other times it used to piss me off so bad. But this was after I left Nicholas. So it wasn't even during while I was in Philly. It was just more like after. So yeah, the wedding planning process was a mess. I did not like it. I was not helped at all. And mostly people just say they couldn't help me because they didn't know what to do. And they would want me to tell them what to do. And I was like, well, I just really wanted somebody to talk to about it. Like, and I would talk to my mom, but, it wasn't like I had somebody that would like, come on, let's go to this bridal shop. Come on, let's go look at these flowers. And I was just like, it never happened. I was literally planning it all by myself for 4 months. And I kept, like, me and Nikki would talk about it. And I was like, I never wanted him to be that groom that just showed up and didn't have no input in the wedding. But unfortunately, that's how it went. The long distance thing, like, really messed all of that up.
I was about to say, I think in most cases, not in most cases, in most of that situation, the things that I suggested is what we did.
Like what?
The garden. Us kind of eloping.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
But that was your idea?
Essentially, yeah. Because I said that it's a pretty setting. It's easy to take photos of.
Oh. And
instead of doing a venue, we just do somewhere that's in like a garden area. And that's what made you want to go look for it.
For real? I'm so sorry. I didn't remember that.
No,
I don't know where that idea came from.
I just think a lot of my ideas wasn't like on the forefront. Like I wasn't like, we wasn't just bouncing ideas off of. You showed me that you were conflicting with some things, and then I just gave you a suggestion of like.
I do remember that.
Because it's not easy to choreograph that in the sense of like, because no matter what, you had a dream.
Yeah.
Like Martin. You had a dream. Mm. And I couldn't necessarily, I guess, make it happen because I was always still grounded by what was possible.
Yeah, and we couldn't. That's why I was like, you have this grand idea for a wedding, like having people, like, so my stepmom and my dad had this big old wedding, and they had it at a venue in my, like, technically in the hometown, but not really. In this nice venue, they had the wedding at a church in our neighborhood, then went to a reception. Had literally all of my childhood neighbors, all my mom's friends, all my stepdad's friends. Our whole family was there, both sides of the family. Like, it was literally everybody together for that wedding. And I saw that as like a beacon of how I want weddings to go. But I wanted to do that at a destination. I did not want to do that because Nikki lived in Georgia. My whole family lived in Philly. I didn't want my family to have to travel all the way to Georgia, and I did not want to get married in Georgia. Absolutely not.
I just want to make this clear. She is calling me Nikki. I don't know why.
Because I don't want to call him Nick.
I get it, but just know that it's just something she's saying. That's something I prefer. People get so confused when they hear someone call me Nikki, and I'm just like,
someone. I'm the wife.
I'm sure that if I was around your family and they're like, Nikki, and I'm just like, she's just calling me that. I don't know. No one just calls me Nikki.
Okay. Nicholas.
I just hear someone going, Nikki. Why don't you call me Nikki? Like I go by that. No, I don't. She just says that.
Oh. Nicholas.
That is all.
What was I saying?
See, told you to forget.
Yeah, I was on a roll.
Sorry. Something about cousins and people showing up. You were talking about your stepdad and your dad and your.
That was.
Okay.
I wasn't talking about that. See, you
saying
don't
about
listen to
everybody was there. Your neighbors.
It was after that.
That was it. That was the only thing you said after that.
Okay.
What was your point?
That was the I said because I was like, that's the beacon of all weddings that I would want. And I said I didn't want you to be I said I didn't want you to be a groom. Oh, I was just like, I didn't want you to be the groom that showed up. And then you said that it was things that you didn't want to make happen. Mm-hmm. You wanted to make sure things would happen realistically. I wanted things to happen realistically too. So that's why that grand whole like idea of a wedding where everybody coming together and having it at a destination wasn't going to work. In the middle of inflation was not going to work. And also, we pay for that wedding ourselves with our own little money. So that was also a problem too. Like, most of the other people who have these big old weddings, you said they get loans.
They either get loans or family.
Or like, family supports them. We did not have that. We did not have that.
Grooms or the bride's parents will pay for it.
We did not have that.
So on and so forth. So
no, I ain't even got it yet.
It's fine. There's definitely, and I promise you, there's no shade for anyone that wants to have a big wedding. If it represents y'all have the big personality.
That wasn't us anyway. I didn't like all the attention.
I don't think that there's a scenario where a big wedding makes sense to me.
Yeah, it did.
But I would say, actually, you know what? That's a lie. I think the only scenario where I could see myself planning a big wedding, in a sense, I must be famous, must be well off, and I must be able to do like interesting things. Yeah. Because if I had the opportunity, if I was able to do this, I would do a wedding and let's just say have Cisco sing a song.
Yes, Cisco.
If I could
would have
do
to be
that,
Cisco and Usher. Cisco would have to sing me walking down the aisle. Usher would have to do the reception.
See, and that's the only big wedding I can think of is like how interesting and how funny is it to have this line of people that I'm like cool with or friends with, and people I grew up watching.
Yeah, that's like Bill Gates rich.
That's what I'm saying. Like that will be the only way that I can see myself in a like, oh, this seems like a Nick thing to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only scenario. Which if I can't do that traditionally, I mean, granted, I probably could have found another way to make it somewhat the same concept.
Yeah.
But
so like majority of 2023, I was literally planning. So what we decided was to elope in Florida.
Again, I don't know. The plan, I'm just, once again, I guess my plan wasn't quote unquote eloping. It just felt like it was easier for both of us to deal with it.
Oh yeah, that's what I was talking about, because two separate households. Yeah, it was easier for both of us to do it. And it was cost efficient.
Yeah, it was easier because it made it intimate. It made it more about us. We didn't think about how everybody else needs to be there, who needs to show up, when they showing up. They
Yeah.
need to be there.
It was
What are
too
we
much
eating?
stress of all of that.
And
also it was a short time frame because we wanted that date of 4/24/24. That
Yeah.
was the time we got together. Was in April, was our first time like being boyfriend and girlfriend, was April 24th. And it was the year 2024. So it was like, okay, angel numbers come together.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think anytime you're having a discussion about a wedding and you start talking about, and I'm saying I know that there's parameters to this, but if you start talking about how you're more worried about other people showing up or who's going to be there, da da da, like it's nice to say that, oh, you want your grandma there or you want your dad there or whatever. Like I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about when your constant problem or constant workaround is you trying to figure out what we're going to eat. Who's going to do this? Is anybody
I'm
going to
pay
like
for the
this?
caterers because
It's the question of, is other people going to like this? Or is other people going to do this? I just can't stand I never really wanted my wedding to be about what other people was going to like.
Yeah.
And what other people was going to deal with. Sure, I'm going to be mindful. I'm going to be like, if I had some vegan people, I would have my menu doing that. But I'm saying like, it felt like most of the conversations was like, how are we gonna get our family down there and what we're gonna do afterwards? And it's kind of like I didn't want to play host. And I felt like I was playing host to my wedding.
It was literally like, and when I used to just see on Instagram that people would just say a wedding is just a big old party for the guests and that we got to pay for it and we wasn't getting no help, I was like, no, I'm not doing it. That's kind of what sold me.
Yeah. I just realized.
And on top of not wanting to be in Georgia for my wedding. But go ahead.
My bad. I just realized that the biggest thing you're talking about of like the assistance is having a bridesmaid. You didn't have an official bridesmaid.
I had a maid of honor.
Maid of honor. Charlie, what did I say? Bridesmaid?
Bridesmaid.
Sorry. Maid of honor. That person does a lot of those things you're talking about.
Yeah, they do. And I love her. I don't want to put her name out. So, she was chosen specifically to be just a mental support person because I knew I was going to be stressed and I knew people was going to piss me off, even my future husband. So I needed somebody who had no connection to him, no connection to my other side of the family, like my side of the family. She's like literally my person I grew up with. So that's why she was chosen. And she also knew the history of me and Nikki. So I was just like, she has to be my maid of honor. I can't not make her my maid of honor. But everybody was all like, the maid of honor is supposed to do this. You're not supposed to be doing all that by yourself. Maid of honor is supposed to do this. And I'm like, who makes the rules? Me. So I took the burden of not having, because I actually thought I could handle all of it, but it was the fact that I just didn't have nobody to talk to about it. Like I would talk to my maid of honor about what made me upset, but she's never been married either. So she kind of couldn't give me much, and she also had her own life. She literally had 2 kids under 2, so I was just like, I just need her for mental support when she could give it. But that's neither here nor there. So the wedding was nothing like I imagined. It was actually probably a really bad experience, I would say. I got over it. It was not a good experience. It was chill. Not chill. It was not chill, no. It was not good. But I liked how I pushed through it. So I was like, probably out of what I produced, it was actually good.
Did you say setting up or did you say she going through it? Like
setting
the
up.
wedding. Okay. Gotcha. I feel like I missed something.
Yeah, I think I said both words in a different sentence, but
okay.
I'm just rambling at this point. Not meaning to. I'm just trying to tell my experience of like just basically girly girls, guys. Because I had a friend who was at my previous job. He was planning a wedding too. He was just like, he was part of the LGBTQ plus community. I love him. Can't remember his name. I was saying like was as he was a person to me, but he still is a part of the LGBTQ plus community.
Just not your friend anymore.
Yeah, he's not my friend anymore.
Okay. I was like,
just because we lost touch, happened? He was in Philly. But we was going through wedding planning at the same time, and I would ask him about it, and my wedding was far in between. He was like weeks coming up. But yeah, like, are you guys, girls, people, persons planning? I would say, like what Nikki is saying, make sure it's everything you want it to be. And if you want such and such grandma, grandpa, uncle, dad, cousin there, try to make it important that they do come. But remember that when y'all in the trenches during your marriage, none of those people are there. So make sure you just give them pictures, because that's what we did. Pictures and videos.
Yeah. And we still setting up technically a traditional wedding situation, but
yes, that's what I was talking about, because you cut me off. That we decided to elope in Florida, because you was about to say we decided on a traditional something, but I'll tell you about that in a second. So we decided to, on April 24th of 2024, we decided to elope in Daytona Beach, Florida, in a botanical garden. It was lovely. Definitely good weather. I picked a photographer. Shout out to Shank Henry Photography. Y'all look them up if y'all ever in Florida. I said M, but it's a female. They are a female. Look her up when you get a chance. Shank Henry Photography. It was amazing. It was a good old time. I took Nicholas to the beach. I planned out that whole time. Literally planned the cruise wedding that we're gonna do this year, 2026. Oh, cruise wedding is supposed to be in April of 2026. The time frame with cruises is ridiculous. I was planning that too, like trying to figure out that, writing out a pre-wedding manual, writing down instructions for people, writing out what it looks like, doing the invitations. It was a mess. I was doing all that by myself. But it all got pushed out. It all got pushed out with a planner. Make sure you get you a planner. You don't need a wedding planner. You need a book planner. If you are a kinesthetic writer, write it out. If you visual learner, do some YouTube videos. YouTube didn't help me that much. I just Googled everything I wanted. But yeah, that's what we chose, to have family come together for the cruise of April of 2026. And that's when that's planned. Yeah, we were like in Daytona for a week for our wedding. Yep. It's a good thing I had the time off.
It's pretty nice. I was in a weird mental state, but
yeah,
it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Yeah.
It's kind of like it was like a time freeze for me. Like, don't know present, past, and future kind of intermixing together. It's just like just going through the day. That's why I was like, I'm glad I planned everything, because we just literally just went through the plans and just enjoyed each other's time. That was a goal. I just told Nicholas, wear this, show up, boom.
Worked out for me.
And get tattoos.
Yeah.
We got matching tattoos on our wedding, amongst other things. But yeah, that was the wrap up of 2023. 2022, sorry. Nope. That was a wrap up of 2022.
That was a wrap up of 2024.
No, it wasn't, because we didn't even get to 2024 when I came back here.
The whole wedding situation, yeah.
I was talking about wedding planning,
You
and
said
then we ended up
4 months of planning, which would insinuate you started in January 2024.
Okay, that was the wrap up of 2023, running into 2024. So y'all should be ready for part 2 of this. I guess it's part 2 of this episode, but it's technically the next episode where we will be talking about the rest of 2024 after the wedding. So make sure you stay tuned. Take us home, Nikki.
All right, y'all. Sometimes she plays producer, and I have no idea where she's going with this. All right, y'all. I just want to say Happy New Year. Happy great 2025. I hope the best for y'all. I hope that, everything you wanted and everything you would ever need is coming out of this year, or at least setting up for the following years for you to get that. 2024 has been a great year, and I guess we'll address that next episode. And I guess it'd be more fitting because we'll be into the new year and reflecting.
No, we're not. We're going to do it tonight.
Well, you know what? Okay, never mind then.
Yeah.
Like I said,
we're going to do it again.
It's always improv.
It's going to be in the
here.
same night. Literally, I said that when I first talked.
I get it.
It's okay.
But I just didn't think it was okay. All
Let's
right,
do it.
So stay tuned. Subscribe to all the things. JCMN Network, JCMN Arcade, your second favorite podcast, all of it. We're essentially back and more than ever. And
better than ever.
Better than ever. So, all right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this podcast. And if y'all did, be sure to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we will see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.